And you're all okay with it. It's all okay with you guys. Fucking and it's just amazing to me. You got, and I get attacked from everywhere. From Pocky and Lady K and Shitware and KB and Chadley and Cardiff and Rocco and all the, and Fatty Patty and the numerous other fucking wannabe shows and the Sheet Shittersons of the world. And they all gotta take a piece of the duke.
Can it be true that this fight John courageously took on only started because of the actions of others? And who are these characters John speaks of? To find these answers, we must go back. Back to when the Dabbleverse was born.
And just because I don't want to negotiate with a fucking vegetable doesn't make me difficult. It makes me normal.
John, I just want you to know, because I'm sure you would have wanted somebody to tell you then, when you had the Dabbler comment from Chrissy Mayer, what was about to be born from that. I think the difficult verse has just been born based on your rant this evening.
Good.
For those of you who are new to the Dabbleverse, you're probably wondering, why is John arguing with a potato? And where did this potato come from? The Big Bang of the Dabbleverse gave rise to countless creators, most of which found themselves on Reddit, specifically in the Who Are These Podcasts subreddit. In fact, so many people were bombarding the WATP subreddit with John content that they eventually became unwelcome. This gave rise to a new subreddit called Dabblers Anonymous. The name was derived from the now infamous Chrissy Mayer incident.
I thought you had dabbled occasionally in stand-up, so that's why I brought that up.
I dabbled occasionally, really.
If the Chrissy Mayer incident was the spark that ignited the Dabbleverse, Dabblers Anonymous was the jet fuel that turned that spark into a raging inferno. With thousands of members, these dabblers have dedicated their lives to exposing John's lies, hypocrisy, and general abhorrent behavior.
Joey Cola, writing all of your new jokes again. First of all, it's Cola. K-O-L-A, you dumb fuck. Joey Cola never wrote one joke for me.
What is this? You do a stand-up act when you do your personal appearances, John?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What, you have writers and a whole thing?
Yeah.
Who are your writers?
Joey Cola.
With so many members, it was only a matter of time before some of these dabblers started to stand out above the rest. There are legendary dabblers like Barnes and Noobs, who constantly pump out entertaining compilations, cementing John's idiocy on the internet for eternity. And then there's DJ Dabbles, a creator who's literally creating the soundtrack to the Dabbleverse.
I get a pension from the WGA. Does anybody else? I don't think so.
We're gonna do something. Let's do it.
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 And then there are others like Rocco, who is also known as the man behind Tukey the Puppet. Rocco is multi-talented and has gone on to create his own show on YouTube.
I've been getting messages. I'm not talking about this. John, I want proof. You can't just go around saying that I have an illegitimate black son without any proof. And that's all I'm going to fucking say.
While also being a consistent guest on other Dabbleverse shows.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, no, from doing nothing all day?
But his greatest talent is getting under John's skin.
Has your son ever queefed in your face?
Rocco isn't the only one who has the ability to annoy John. There's also OJ, who stream snipes John's live shows, which infuriates John.
We all have the copyright code that I sent to my friends, and they'll all be watching this stupid fucking orange.
And then there is Cardiff Electric. Cardiff is the fabled dabbler donning a potato filter. His personality is outrageous, and his identity is mysterious. People have speculated he's a cast member from My 600-Pound Life to a retired Major League Baseball player. One thing is certain, The mystery surrounding Cardiff's true identity drives John completely insane.
Paybacks are a bitch, so I'm upping it now. I'm upping it. For 1,000. Double this right here. Get me Cardiff Electric's name. Someone's got to recognize that voice. Someone in the know knows who Cardiff Electric is. Vinny Paulino does. I know he knows his name. Lady K knows his name. Just do it. So I'm asking, somebody give me Cardiff Electric's real name.
Over the past 3 years, all three of these men have done what every internet troll lives for, turning a lol cow into a reaction machine. They've baited, provoked, and poked, producing endless hours of content along the way. But beyond them, there are three names that have consistently risen to the very top of John's most hated list. Two of those figures were already introduced in part 1. The first is Anthony Cumia, a man tied to John by a long, bitter, and deeply complicated history. The second is Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, a relentless critic who refuses to let up. But when it comes to the person John despises above all others, the third stands in a category entirely his own. This isn't just a rivalry, it's a full-blown war. Allow me to introduce former Howard Stern alumni and creator of the Shuli network, Shuli Egar, and the crew from the Uncle Rico show.
Are you ready?
The Uncle Rico show, hosted by Shuli Egar, is a podcast devoted to breaking down the ongoing saga of Stuttering John. With one of the largest followings in the Dabbleverse, they inspire near cult-like loyalty in some and fierce disdain in others. Whether you love them or hate them, the audience shows up. And that drives John crazy.
That one was not good. Here we go.
They goof on these ladies that are in this universe, and I don't really understand it.
The way that he treated Jenny Jingles, I know that he has done it to all the women, but the way that he treated Jenny Jingles, that's insane for him to say that.
Find lost episodes. Like, we found this lost episode of his pod. Did you know, John? Remember this?
It's just Railward.
What? Whoa. Lost episode.
Damn, he's got his mama's fat ass. I'll say that much.
Shuli and the gang have been relentless for the last 3 years. He's made it clear he's done with John's attempts to bully people, and he refuses to become just another one of John's targets.
I ain't ever shaking this fucking dude's hand. We're here because this guy's a fucking bully.
I don't fuck around. These are not veiled. These are not phony threats. This is real.
He's been a bully his entire life.
But look at Shuli's wife, pigeon foot, with those big ass tree trunk legs.
And for a long time, I didn't say shit because, like so many people, I didn't want the headache of John. You don't want this fucking idiot screaming about you every day. And then it just got to a point where I said, fuck it. Fuck this guy. It's time to fucking punch a bully in the goddamn face.
And Shuli has consistently made good on that promise, sometimes by outsmarting John. For example, when Shuli sent Chad Zumach bogus Venmo donations purely to mess with John.
There's John.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Or other times, by shining a light on his dishonest behavior.
Joey.
Yeah.
Joey, ask John why he didn't let me or Mike Morse on. We were both in the green room. He saw us. Ask him why he's lying.
And there's video.
I'll do that. I'll work into that. Okay, I got it.
Guys, I think I saw in a chat room someone asked that they know for a fact that Mike was in the back room and Shuli and you wouldn't let him in. Is that true?
I swear on my life.
Oh my Oh my God!
I no ever been anyone.
What?
You know.
Clutch those pearls.
The problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubt, while the stupid people are full of confidence.
John is often identified with having narcissistic personality disorder. And though he does exhibit a lot of NPD traits, and I do believe it adversely affects his life and relationships, I think there's actually a much bigger problem.
You're stupid. You're an actual stupid person.
John has always been oddly fixated on proving he's the smartest guy in the room, but everything about him, the way he talks, how he handles himself, the choices he makes, even the sloppy lies he tells, just makes it painfully obvious that he's a simple-minded person. John is so desperate to seem intelligent that he clings to other people's achievements like a parasite.
First of all, my father dropped out of high school in 12th grade to serve for the engineering corps. And then after the war was over, he went back and finished high school and got recruited by Rensselaer College, the best engineering school at the time.
Heard of it.
And he got his master's at NYU, along with 3 other degrees. The man is a genius. Hence, his son is also a genius.
Okay.
John's delusions of being an intellectual has even led him to tell people he is a card-carrying member of Mensa, and has said he has an IQ of 160, which is equivalent to certified geniuses Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking.
Rocky Raska, thanks for the $5. You told Royce your IQ was 136. Then a week ago, I never said it was 165. Einstein's IQ. I have a 165. And a couple days later, you said it was 160. So what is it, John? Yes, it was 136 on the Howard Stern show. That was 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Now, I took the IQ test again before I made all these challenges to make sure that my brain was getting smarter and smarter, and it went to a 160.
John is definitely a low IQ individual. He's definitely below the average. I would say he's probably somewhere between Eric the actor and Grillo.
Claiming he's as smart as Einstein sounds like something a toddler would say, and what's worse is he actually thinks we'd believe it. It's as if John only understands intelligence in the most childlike terms, a fact made painfully clear when he attempts to describe how his brain operates.
The Hamburglar and I have a conversation. I remember it like it was yesterday, Hamburglar, because that's the kind of memory I have. It's Mensa memory. I look at, even when I teach, see something, boom, 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 boom. Jupiter, largest planet. Venus, hottest planet. Boom, 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 boom. The nebula hypothesis. Newton's second law. I remember everything.
A perfect illustration of John's childlike grasp of things is his infamous attempt at conceptual art.
They were doing something called Prop 8. Okay, so I called it Prop 8.
Prop 8.
There's the heart with the black hole and in the middle, and all equals are all over the canvas, meaning that we're all equals. And then on the bottom it says love. It says life, and then it says love is for everyone.
This is what retarded children do at retard school. When you send your retarded child to retard school, they come home with shit like this.
Anthony's right. What John thinks is so deep and intellectual is actually just basic elementary school thinking. Here's another example of John's simple-minded, childlike, and rudimentary understanding of art.
All this chaos going on. And then, after I painted all the chaos, I lift the tape up, and there you have love. Because that's all. That's what
oh my
really
God! About. Crazy! This is so dark, John. Wait a minute. Love.
This third-grade coloring book is along the same level of thinking. John's artwork clearly isn't Mensa-level material, but it's hard to understand how he genuinely thinks this is good. I can't tell if it's the years of drinking catching up to his memory, or if he's always been this slow. Or maybe it's both. But John himself has already admitted he was never in Mensa.
Hey, fine, but you're not so smart that you're getting weekend Mensa enrollment.
No, I'm not in Mensa.
It's a strange kind of self-deception, or he's trying to rewrite his own history. Studies say quick wit is often linked to higher intelligence, being able to hear something, process it instantly, and fire back with a clever retort. But John can't even manage a basic comeback without repeating the same tired insult.
You dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. You dumb fuck.
Now let's compare John to people who are genuinely quick and funny. Minds that fire with incredible speed.
What's the reason? Your kid can't just be an asshole. Right.
Well, I was diagnosed with AHBD. That's difficult.
What's that?
Adorable, huggable boy disorder.
Oh, so you're cured.
Yes.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, is that fucking quick?
Even Chip Chipperson, everyone's favorite podcaster, is quicker than John.
Iraq. You know, no, I wasn't sure if I was going to be late. I don't want to be late for Chip's show.
Nah, fuck that. You don't get paid.
Chip wields an iron fist.
Fuck yeah, you sit on one. Babe, I'm fucking getting faster.
Oh.
The difference in quickness and intellect between John and real comics is brutal. It's not like he doesn't try to be witty. He does, constantly. But every attempt collapses into the same clumsy, embarrassing mess. He doesn't just miss the mark. He doesn't even seem to know where the mark is.
OJ admitted to having a GED. What a loser, I know. GED. Hold on. GED. Good education, dummy. Is that what it stands for?
Not a writer.
This is the same man who spent over 20 years calling himself a comedian and bragging about a 160 IQ. And it's not just John's lack of wit that gives away his lack of intelligence. It's the way he lives his life. The things he genuinely believes are smart.
I'm at the hotel. I had to use my head. I forgot to bring my fucking brush, so I took these two forks and used it to do the comb, you see? Am I a genius or what?
This is what John considers genius. In reality, it's absurd to brag about something so childish. He truly believes he's showing brilliance by fashioning a comb out of forks, correcting spelling in super chats, or rattling off factoids a third grader could recite.
The largest planet in our solar system is Jupiter. The closest planet to the sun is Mercury. The hottest planet is Venus due to the sulfuric acid and carbon dioxide in the air.
These aren't dissertation-level astrophysics facts. These are actually facts I found on Peekaboo Kids, a YouTube channel for elementary school children.
Jupiter is the largest planet of our solar system. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Venus is the second planet from the sun. And it is the hottest planet in the solar system. That's because it has high amount of carbon dioxide.
Another thing John loves to do is repeat factoids without bothering to check if they're true. For example, when John claimed that In-N-Out got the idea from All-American Drive-In, despite the fact that In-N-Out was founded in 1948, years before All-American even existed as an ice cream shop in 1951, or opened its burger drive-in in 1963. I will concede, it's normal for people to be mistaken. But when John is wrong, he's wrong with unwavering conviction, bordering on belligerence.
Some sort of pancreatic cancer. And my ex-mother-in-law, she just found out 2 days ago that she has it. And
But pancreatic cancer is not caused by alcohol.
it probably is.
No, it is not.
Really? Okay, well, I'm sure drinking tons of alcohol causes something.
No, that causes liver problems, not pancreatic.
Well, I still think it's
not
not
pancreas.
a good idea to be drinking a lot. But anyway, I'm sure you heard enough of this from your ex-wife or your mom.
It's incredible to me how John can be so smug while at the same time being so wrong. It reminds me of trying to argue with flat earthers. They had the uncanny ability to preach about things they knew so little about.
Anthony, check this out. This is the world record for circumnavigation. They went down here, down to Santiago. They went to Antarctica. Then they turned around and came back to Santiago. They went to this island over here, up and around, back and around the North Pole. Does that look like circumnavigation to you?
It looks like if you make it a sphere, it would make a lot more fucking sense.
be a lot
because
straighter. No,
the
no,
world
this is
isn't
what it looks
fucking
like on a flat Earth.
If you
This is
take
all they did.
if you take
This
a
is-
string and go from New York to Tokyo, do you know the string actually goes over Alaska? Because
Yeah.
it's so big. But if you put it on a flat map, you go, why would you go over Alaska if you could just go like this? Because
No,
it's a
it goes
sphere,
over
you
Alaska.
dumb
Have you looked
fuck.
This phenomenon is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with the lowest levels of skill or knowledge in a given area are the ones most likely to grossly overestimate their own competence. Even on the rare occasions John concedes he was wrong about one thing, he immediately pivots to a brand new claim that's just as incorrect. He's a non-stop misinformation machine.
Judy, you were right about saying that there is a correlation between pancreatic cancer and
Yeah, that's what I always thought. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I did look it up, and you were 100% accurate on that.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be drinking. It's horrible for your health. You know, especially if you're trying to get fit, go to the gym. Yeah, but who cares that it's light? It's still alcohol that's poisoning your liver.
Miss Judy, I diluted it with a lot of water and green tea.
You dilute it with water?
Yeah, if I go to a bar and I have a light beer, I'll ask them for a big glass of water, and like I'll take a sip of beer and then I'll take a sip of water. So it's getting diluted in my system. So the alcohol content is not like drinking a shot of vodka.
At this point, I think it's smart to shut down the nonsense John keeps pushing about light beer being totally fine or it's not bad for you. But I'm obviously not the right person to do it properly. So I went and talked to an actual expert.
Hey, Sheet, it's your old pal, Dr. Steve, and thank you for asking me to clear up a dangerous myth. I'm assuming you're doing a PSA on alcohol abuse for your local cable access channel or something. Anyway, I think most everyone knows that chronic alcohol use can damage the brain through thiamine deficiency. This causes a thing called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. It also can damage the liver through direct damage leading to cirrhosis, and the pancreas from intense inflammation that can lead to pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer, and even death. Some people have therefore raised the question, is light beer safer for your body, and does it get you as drunk as the hard stuff? Well, let's look at the science. Picking a random light beer, say Coors Light, we find there is 95.8% water and 4.2% alcohol by volume. Therefore, a 12-ounce can of Coors Light contains 0.5 ounces of pure alcohol. A standard shot of vodka is 80 proof or 40% alcohol, so a 1.5-ounce shot will contain 0.6 of pure alcohol. In consuming a 12-pack of Coors Light, you've ingested the same amount of pure alcohol as 10 shots of vodka. If you lined up 10 shots of vodka on a bar and downed them, would you say, I'm hydrating? No, you'd be hammered. There's no cheat code. Coffee doesn't work, cold showers don't work, only time works. Alcohol is alcohol, so don't let the light label fool you.
As you can see, John's constant barrage of childish did-you-know factoids has very little to do with accuracy. They're just a performance to convince everyone he's the smartest, most knowledgeable person in the conversation. And these habits line up closely with one of the latest internet terms, the midwit.
And to clarify, for those who don't know, a midwit is someone who's of average intelligence, and they think of themselves and present themselves as someone of higher intelligence. One common example is the nitpicking behavior. It could be you make a small typo, you mispronounce something, and they'll hone in on that and use it against you. While in reality, it's not an issue. Everybody knew what you meant.
You're a massive scammer. Hey, Johnny, why not learn how to spell your? You're a bad speller, you dumb fuck.
He said it. He said it.
I think that people usually do this because they can't attack your argument. Usually, whenever I see people that attack spelling errors, what that indicates to me is that it's a person who wants to find a way to invalidate the other person, but isn't really able to do that. So they have to resort to looking at their grammar, their spelling. That's the impulse behind it.
This describes John perfectly. Correcting spelling doesn't just feed his ego and his need to feel smarter than someone, it also gives him an easy out. A way to avoid actually engaging with the super chats. And let's be honest, this might actually be the best thing for him. Because whenever John does choose to speak up or jump into an argument, he either sticks his foot in his mouth or gets absolutely annihilated by whoever he's arguing with. And there's no better example than when John debated Vince the lawyer over the ethics of going after the wives of people in the Dabbleverse. Full disclosure, Vince is a troll, usually more interested in stirring chaos than having real conversations. But here, he seemed to be arguing in good faith.
She is a civilian in terms of the Dabbleverse. And if you want to go against that and attack civilians, that's up to you. I know your family civilians were attacked.
She does a show. She has put herself out there. And
So is Susanna, though.
Oh, yeah? What show?
I don't. She has an IMDb page, I'm sure. Tony and Tina's wedding.
Yeah, okay. Where's their video at?
There's video, John. And Howard, and of course on Howard. I mean, you put her video out. You put her video, and I know it's a wedding video, but she's done other things.
She's not asking me to do that.
Are you claiming now that Susanna has never put herself out there that we can't critique?
I'm saying if they want to watch her, you don't do something like that where she's putting herself. I mean, she doesn't. She has a full-time job. She doesn't have any time to be, being an actress and everything else. If you're
And
gonna
I
go
believe
back
so
30
does Shuli's wife.
What?
And I believe so does Shuli's wife.
No, you're wrong.
This is not her full-time gig, John.
All right, I'm done. All right, I can't fucking handle this fucking guy.
This is a common tactic among those who lack the ability to debate. They mute opponents, remove them from chats, or block them on social media. And John is known for doing all three. Another sign of low IQ is setting yourself up for failure, basically stepping on a rake. Most people can sense when what they're saying or doing is going to blow up in their face. But John seems to be blind to this.
Look, Kevin, I like you, but you gotta read super chats. And you can't not read big donors like RP and Bob Levy's daughter's an online sex worker. You have to read whatever they say. Look, people come in with my fucking son's picture. I'm still gonna read it. Really? So who is the real genius here? Thank you. John, son, who used to be a she, thanks for $2. I'm smart because daddy made me drink his. I'll get out of here. I'm not gonna read.
How does John lack the basic foresight to not see that coming? He's been getting trolled nonstop for at least 5 years, yet he still thought it was a brilliant idea to announce that he'll read any super chat, including ones using his kid's face. It's genuinely baffling. John will say we call him dumb because we don't like him. And while it's true some people do call him dumb out of spite, it's also true that he can give off that impression to people meeting him for the first time, like Judy the lawyer, who only recently saw his show.
He seems like he's very stable. He doesn't seem like some whack job like your friend John. I can't stand watching John's YouTube channel, and I don't know why you would even want to be on it. John's...
You're referring to Stuttering John, Edward Melendez.
John Melendez. I'm like, who would want to watch this? He looks grotesque. The way he talks is like some uncouth 12-year-old. Plus he sounds like he's drunk and he looks slovenly and out of shape, wearing crappy clothes. That's a big turnoff for most women.
And it wasn't just Judy who thought something seemed off about John. An officer who pulled him over also got that impression, since John couldn't even remember that he'd been stopped for a similar traffic issue just a few months earlier.
200 Nelson Road North on the silver Mercedes. Hi there, Officer Care with Cape Coral Police. We just pulled you over. Your tag expired 6 months ago.
Yeah, I
Any
just moved here
reason-
from California. I got to go to the DMV. I just got my Florida driver's license.
Okay, so 6 months ago, any reason why we didn't renew it?
Oh, I just got here. I was in California. I drove from...
Sir, so listen to me.
Yeah.
Back in April, when you were in California,
Yeah.
why didn't you renew your registration?
I wasn't asked to yet.
He sounds like a child who was asked why they hadn't finished their homework.
All right, but usually I'll get
License and registration.
Now, this body cam footage has been reviewed plenty of times, so I'll spare you from having to sit through the whole thing again. However, there were 2 moments that stood out above the rest.
What? No, I'm just talking to my friend. He's a cop out here.
So...
do you know him?
How would this cop know him if John never gave him the name? This is probably when the cop started thinking that John might be a little slow.
So, back when you got pulled over in April, you should have been told that your tag expired back then.
Oh, I got pulled over in April?
Yep, you got a ticket.
For what? I don't remember.
Do I need to put you in for a driver's re-exam?
The officer asks John if he needs to be reevaluated, since he claims he doesn't remember being pulled over and ticketed just a few months ago. This is exactly why so many people find him ridiculous. How can someone stumble through life, forgetting basic recent events and bungling everything he touches, yet keep insisting he's a former Mensa member with a 160 IQ? Any person with an average intelligence can see right through the act. Maybe that's the root of his insecurity. When everyone who meets you immediately pegs you as a moron, it chips away at your ego after a while. That's probably why any jab at his intelligence cuts him so deeply and hurts his fragile ego.
You just talk to him like a fucking kindergartner.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You talk to me like a kindergartner? You talk to me like a kindergartner. Kiana, I can run circles around you when it comes to intelligence, okay? Okay? I am way more mature than you. You are trying to be classy, but you're not. You're nothing but a 2-bit whore.
If John's own intelligence is such a raw nerve, if the slightest joke about it sends him into a spiral, you'd expect him to be the first person to show patience and kindness toward anyone who's genuinely struggling or a bit slower, right? Unfortunately, this is the furthest from the truth. Which brings us to a moment in Dabbleverse history, the time when John tried to roast a slow adult. If you ever listened to Howard Stern in the glory days, you remember the legendary Whack Pack, High Pitch Eric, Beetlejuice, Eric the Actor, each with their own very real limitations and struggles. Howard had them on because, above all, they were genuinely hilarious and unpredictable, but also because he was fascinated by their lives. The bit was never, let's drag these vulnerable people in here just to crush their souls, because not only is that cruel, it's the cheapest, easiest heat in the world. There's no skill in kicking someone who's already down. But John can't resist it. The second a pretty girl is watching, he lights up at the chance to score points by dunking on a grown adult who's obviously struggling.
Holy crap, who brought in Corky from Life Goes On? Holy shit. You make Mike Buschetti look fucking handsome. All Mark's life, he always wanted to get ahead. A smaller one.
No. Calm down. No. Okay.
Look at how proud John is of himself for mocking this man. Some people say Mark doesn't struggle as severely as others, but does that really matter? It's clear his life is still harder than most. John targets him anyway, because he sees him as an easy mark. He knows Mark won't fight back. And the most offensive part, the jokes aren't even funny.
Dude, shouldn't you be wearing a helmet?
Okay, so
where's your drool cup?
Like, I know a little bit like what you want, like a little bit.
Hey, Mark, Sling Blade wants his voice back.
Stop it.
Today, John will claim ignorance of Mark's struggles, deflecting all blame and insisting he had no idea.
An interview I did 10 years ago where I didn't know there was a person who was mentally challenged. I had no idea.
If he truly had no idea that Mark was mentally challenged, then why was he so fixated on that particular topic, going so far as to dig into the specifics?
Did you go to Plain Edge High?
I know. I went to Massapequa High.
Were you in the horticulture club?
What is that? What is that?
That's where all the mentally challenged kids.
After being called out by Elisa, John agreed to apologize and make things right with Mark. Or did he?
And being that that Elisa has called me out for my lame jokes, if you will, then I will apologize for the short bus comment. I'm sure it was not that short.
Like John said earlier, that video is over 10 years old. But that's exactly why he's such a perfect lol cow. He still hasn't grasped that every single thing he's ever said on a stream is permanently archived. Me, producer Joe, Doom, So Thorough Joe Burrow, and every other clipper out there, we're all sitting on terabytes of receipts. The internet never forgets, and the second he tries to rewrite something, we just roll the tape of him saying the opposite. His own words are the ultimate fact check, and they're all time-stamped and searchable forever. And it gets even worse for John. It's not just the streams, there are public records too. Just like the police body cam video, there are court documents, even his old high school transcripts. The man's entire life is an open archive waiting to be quoted back to him. Yet John will still ignorantly attempt to lie to the public, as if everything he said is snapped from existence the minute he logs out of his stream.
My daughter said to me, "Dad, I want you to learn Spanish." She said that because she speaks fluent Espanol. She took it in high school, all honors, aced it like her daddy.
Spanish 1, 76. Spanish 2, 73. Stuttering John, not a single A.
Aced it like her daddy.
You're not in Mensa, John. These are terrible scores. Let me just remind everyone that John ranks 221 in a graduating class of 336.
For all the crap that the Dabbleverse has given John, and although John has exhibited terrible behavior over the years, there's one thing that John has done that has been pure and honorable. May I even say, bordering on heroic. John became a substitute teacher.
I'm one man who's a school teacher who changed kids' lives for the better. I've received a myriad of cards and emails and texts from parents and students thanking me. For changing the kids' lives for the better.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
In the chaotic theater of John Melendez's life, the classroom should have been his redemption arc. After years of scraping by on podcast fumes and faded Howard Stern glory, John landed a gig as a substitute teacher in the Los Angeles Unified School District. It was a humble pivot. But, true to form, John later landed in trouble for posting a student's photo on X without consent. When a troll, Muttering Jay, amplified it by tagging the school district in an apparent attempt to get him fired, John seized the moment for sympathy. Yet curiously directed his anger not at Muttering Jay, but at Carl, Shuli, and Bob Levy.
That stinks, but nobody in this community has encouraged that. Ignore us.
They got me fired from school. And did I ask for that? No. They got me fired from school. And you're sitting there, you fat bastard. Bob Levy got me fired from school. Well, paybacks are a bitch.
One of the most disturbing examples of John exploiting his firing for sympathy was when he berated his own loyal YouTube members simply because some of them suggested that Dr. Steve is a nice man and that John shouldn't attack Dr. Steve's practice just because the doctor chose to let loose and wear a John t-shirt at a WATP event.
Oh, don't try and hurt Dr. Steve's practice. But we'll ignore when they called the school district to get you fired. But how dare you? How dare you call out Dr. Steve? You all stood by while I had to answer to the school district, and you did nothing. Where were you, Sunflower Dragon? Where were you, Jessica Flatcat? Where were you, Dirty Deeds? Where were you, Clay Dabbler? Where were you all then? Where were you coming to Stuttering John's defense? You don't know the abuse I've gone through.
John might have been angry, but John was fired from his job as a teacher. So it's easy to see why anyone in that position would feel angry and betrayed. Right?
I was never fired from school. You guys are such idiots.
The confession. Not whispered in shame, but bellowed with pride that he was never fired. No remorse for the fans he weaponized this lie against. This wasn't a mistake. This was predatory. Cosplaying victimhood to extort loyalty from fans. This is a pattern that he continues to this day, but instead of crying about being fired, he just literally says, "I'm the victim."
I am the victim. And I am the victim.
The three most common tools used in an argument are intellectual. A sharp intellect can skillfully navigate or outwit an opponent through logic and reasoning. Physical. Often employed by those relying on strength or intimidation to assert dominance. Emotional, typically seen as a more feminine approach. This involves leveraging feelings to persuade or prevail. John tends to use the third tool because he's not smart enough to litigate a cogent argument. And although he likes to threaten people with physical harm, he's seen as far too old and dainty for anyone to actually get in any kind of physical altercation with him. This is why John loves to play the victim. It's the only tool in his bag that occasionally works. We've seen countless guests on John's show who were none the wiser when John would spin his web of lies to gain sympathy. It's a common covert narcissistic trait.
So most covert narcissists are a mix of perpetual victim and undercover aggressor. But victimhood gives them a way to dodge responsibility, gain sympathy, and flip the script when they're called out. It's the perfect cover for their aggressive tactics. I mean, after all, they can't possibly be a bully when they're always the victim, right? And here's how their passive-aggressive behavior sets up the victim role. So instead of saying what they mean, they drop hints, they sulk, or they'll use guilt-tripping comments like,
Sunflower, where were you when they would get me fired from school?
After exposing himself as a liar, John could no longer weaponize the false claim that he was fired from his teaching job. Desperate to cling to his victim narrative, he began walking back his own admission, spinning a new tale, insisting he was fired after all. The victimhood is his oxygen.
Okay, they try and get me fired from school. And guess what, certain person? Maybe they succeeded. And therein lies another big problem you're gonna have. There are a lot of things I have not told you. You canceled my gigs. You got me fired from school. I was fired from school. I know I told you I wasn't. I was. I got reinstated after I had to send in a lot of shit to them.
But in typical John fashion, he couldn't keep his story straight. He again admitted he was never fired, just suspended.
Yeah. So yeah, and they were doing that with me, but I was laughing inside because in my head I'm like, you guys are so stupid. I never got I got suspended for the summer, but I never got fired.
In the end, the person who should be blamed is John. After all, he is the one who posted a picture of a student. There is a silver lining, though. He's no longer teaching the youth of America. In my opinion, I don't see how John could have been a good teacher.
You see how that works? Newton's third law of motion. Look it up, and I know I have to, like it's not exactly, all the right words, but it means if you come at, you hit this thing has an equal reaction. John doesn't draw first blood. You do. The dues payer drew first blood, not me.
John's favorite cop-out. the adult version of He Started It. Except this childish cry is the soft whimper of a baby swaddled in excuses. For the past 5 years, John's go-to narrative has been that Anthony Cumia, Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, and Shuli Egar are the ones who created this entire toxic environment, while he's just a poor, innocent guy who's only ever tried to peacefully put out a little show. Well, let's dig into the archives and find out who really drew first blood. To actually find out who started all of this, I went straight to John for an interview. And to his credit, he agreed. I was completely upfront with him. I told him I didn't like him, but I was willing to give him a shot at a redemption arc. All I needed was for him to tell his side of the story and provide some evidence that they drew first blood. This is John's story.
When all the family attacks started, it was from Pocky, Anthony Cumia. From now, I call him Pocky. And he started to trash my transgender child, and for no fucking reason, just to be a fucking complete asshole. And quite frankly, where I grew up, if you did that in person, I'd beat the living shit out of you. So Pocky's lucky that he's hiding in fucking shithole South Carolina, because I'd rip him out of his fucking house and kick the living shit out of him. That's where it started.
You said he did it for no reason whatsoever. So did you not say anything to him? Did he just do it out of the blue? Because I don't know, that seems weird that Anthony would just like, you know what, this is my guest that I have on the show 9 times. I'm going to just, for no reason, just start attacking his kids.
What happened was I was a regular guest on Anthony Cumia's show on Compound Media. I was on his show in Roslyn Heights, and we had a splendid time. Anthony decided to hire Artie. And then when I started doing Anthony's show with Artie, Anthony drank the Kool-Aid and started to trash me with Artie. Then Anthony came to my stand-up show. We were still friendly at the brokerage, which is Governor's in Belmore. And Anthony laughed his ass off. My brother was a big Anthony fan, and my brother heard him laughing the whole time. Then Anthony went on his show with Artie and trashed my stand-up and trashed me big time. And Anthony would tweet horrendous stuff about my kids, which one of the pictures was on Vice, all unprovoked. And then I started with the Pocky stuff in retaliation.
So now let's analyze John's claims against Anthony. John says his friendship with Anthony soured when Anthony trashed him to impress Artie. Then Anthony attacked John's stand-up big time. And then later targeted his children unprovoked, prompting John's Pocky insults in retaliation. Let's take a look at what really happened.
God, in pajamas. He took the stage on Friday in
pajamas.
Yeah, like no, just like a kind of a stained T-shirt. He was doing some bit about he takes his phone, he gets Siri on it, and then talks another language into it, like a fake Japanese or something.
Why not just talk his English?
And then,
As you can see, these were very mild jokes. And let's compare these jokes to the jokes that John says. Which ones do you think are more harsh?
I gather Artie is a little
late. Yeah.
You heard? Keith doesn't have a microphone.
No, he's
Keith doesn't have a.
Artie's on heroin time.
Oh my God!
Quite the stack you got there. What are those, singles?
No, they're not fucking. They're not Pocky.
Oh, look, he goes right for the jugular.
I mean, so obviously I was just kidding around before.
Oh, a joke. Well, now let me start. He tells a joke. I'm supposed to identify it as a joke and not get mad.
It wasn't a
Tell
joke.
a joke about John, and it's heroin addict, pocky face, asshole, shithead, fuck this, fuck that. Oh, really?
Anthony would tweet horrendous stuff about my kids, which one of the pictures was on Vice, all unprovoked. And then I started with the Pocky stuff in retaliation.
This is a pattern John has exhibited for years.
I go, I've been doing that. You bust balls like you do with any friend that you have. And he loves busting balls, but then the second you turn it on. Like Artie says, you do this innocent, funny thing that's been going on for years.
He goes right
and
there.
he'll go right for your jugular.
And instead of breaking balls, it turns into trash.
Yeah.
Trash to me is like a heavy, heavy.
That's it.
Say something like Stuttering John, like El Chapo looks like
Larry.
And he goes, "Your father fell off a roof." Jesus, that bazooka
So
cover.
he gives you, you jaywalk and he gives you the chair.
And let me remind you, John himself claims he doesn't mind people goofing on him.
I don't mind playful jokes. I could take it. I've been beat up by the best of them. I fucking been in a room with Howard Stern, Jackie the Joke Man, Artie Lang, Fred Norris, Jay Leno, Jack Cohen. You don't think I can fucking take your horse shit?
He definitely can't take it. He got upset when Anthony said his stand-up crowd was sparse and he had stains on his shirt. Following the lighthearted criticism of his stand-up show by Anthony and Artie, John launched into a Twitter tirade that escalated the insults.
He's been tweeting because, again, he gets personal. This was the other one. I look forward to a total character annihilation on my new podcast, which we will tape tomorrow. Look, I'm even plugging his stupid podcast. The one thing is can't stand more. Yeah. than anything is a two-faced lying sycophant. Talks out of both sides of his bigoted mouth. Hey, Pocky, you lost a friend today. Remember that. What good is having a huge house when you have no kids, no real friends to fill it?
This was the moment John drew first blood, responding to jokes by taking things to an extremely personal level. That's when Anthony finally hit back. So the idea that Anthony attacked him for no reason doesn't add up. John had already been going after both Anthony and Artie, misreading friendly teasing, while they held back until he pushed them too far. And don't let John fool you. He always says he doesn't want anyone going after his family. Based on his past behavior, many believe that if Anthony or Artie had kids, John would have gone after them too. He has a long history of crossing those lines. One of the creepiest tactics that John uses to try and scare his perceived enemies is threatening other people's family, especially their children.
John wants kids' photo. No, I don't. Just want to know how old they are. I said, how old are his kids? That's all. I don't want any pictures of fucking kids. So fuck off, you. I don't want any pictures of his kids. I never knew he had kids, and I was curious how old they were. Don't threaten children. Never threaten a child. I'm just asking how old are his kids. I didn't even know he had any.
John's brain is soaked in so much alcohol, he already forgot he threatened Mike's family earlier in the same show, and has also threatened other people's children and families in previous shows.
Hey, you taking any ass? I can go to the gutter with you, fucking silent man, and I'm gonna be relentless. Wait till I see how old your kids are. Wait till I find out everything about you. You don't think I got people working on it right now, Mike? Don't threaten children. We never threaten a child.
And I'm fine. If that's all you could do in your desperation, then I'm gonna go after people, your friends, and your producers' children. Yes, that's how low I'm gonna go. That's how low I'm gonna go. How low I'm gonna go.
Don't threaten children. We never threaten a child. And now, this is what Vince does, like, because he was trying to, broker a deal to get Susanna on. But if he does that, I'm coming after his kids. It's as easy as that. We never threaten a child.
Imagine the twisted logic. Vince wants to interview John's ex-wife, who's an adult and can potentially defend John. So John is going to attack Vince's children. What is John so scared of Susanna saying?
I know your kids' names. Okay? I have pictures. I can do that. Baby Fatso, you don't want Daddy to run over you like he did your brother, do you? No! We don't either. We don't want to hurt our Buick.
This is what John wants to do with the info about children.
Oh, God. Too much fun. Too much fun.
So when it comes to Anthony, the evidence is clear who drew first blood. At the beginning, Artie and Anthony's jokes were about John's movie poster and him looking like El Chapo, while John's jokes were more statements about Artie being on drugs and Anthony's legal troubles. It's easy to see that John escalated first. Whether Anthony went too far by bringing up John's kids is really up to each person. Everyone has their own line for what's acceptable. What's clear, though, is that it doesn't seem to be a deal breaker for John. John has repeatedly overlooked attacks on his kids, not out of forgiveness, but because he prioritizes gaining allies. Imagine being his child. Someone trashes you online, and just a few months later, your father is praising that same person simply because they pretended to be his friend. Shuli and Anthony exposed this fact by tricking John into believing that Anthony was no longer friends with Shuli and had instead become an ally of John's.
And Missy B has confirmed, Vince the lawyer, you dumb fuck, that was Anthony Cumia's text to me. And we are all good. Who would have thunk it that the Duke and Pocky are now fine?
The next day, it was revealed that the supposed alliance between Anthony and John was entirely a ruse, designed to expose John's hypocrisy.
How about that?
Well, look who's here! Oh my goodness! Would you look at that?
I'm in the Duke's camp now. Look out! Oh, what a fucking idiot he is! How fucking stupid does this jerk off have to be to actually think, after everything he's done and said, the backstabbing, low-life loser that he is, that I would have any fucking thing to do with this dope?
The whole point of this was to show everybody how John will abandon all of his morals, all of his ethics, his pride, whatever the fuck you want to throw out there. He throws it all away for one simple fact. Will this guy join me in going after this guy? Right?
Right. That's it. What happened? What happened? I'm a terrible racist. I'm an anti-Semite.
Who would have thunk that Anthony Cumia is kind of a hero in all this?
Yes. Wow. Welcome home, hero. Welcome home.
But this wasn't the first time John had shown a willingness to overlook serious wrongdoing. Muttering Jay was among the first to release photos of John's children and had openly tried to get John fired from his job, yet John selfishly forgave MJ in order to use him to gather dirt on his enemies.
What you guys don't understand, which I'm glad that my man, Muttering Jay, pointed out, and he's done this before. Muttering Jay is amazing. How he gets the shit he gets is unbelievable. And thank God for it.
My man. And he's amazing. The words of a father praising someone who is supposedly his child's bully. There has even been speculation that MJ is actually Vince the lawyer, and that the alliance between MJ and John is nothing more than a ruse meant to toy with John. In any case, it seems John may finally be starting to catch on after years of being played. Why aren't you upset at MJ for showing the picture?
What are you talking about? How many times has he fucking called me a fake cancer fund fucking manager? Are you out of your fucking mind? That guy turns on me more times than anybody else.
So you never considered MJ a friend? I can't find a video of you saying that MJ is your friend after he showed a picture of your kid.
No, sometimes he'll befriend me and he'll start being saying nice things. And I'll go, oh, thanks, MJ. Muttering Jay is amazing. And then the next week, he'll go against me again. It's like a game he plays.
What my point is that if he just says nice things to you, it still doesn't negate the fact that he showed a picture of your kid. So I don't understand why you'd want to be friends with him.
All right, Sheet. I don't even know who Muttering Jay is. Therefore, we can never be friends. So no, he's not my friend. And yes, if I saw him and knew who he was, then the same rule would hold like it did with Pocky. I would go to his house and rip him out his fucking house and beat the living piss out of him. That's a fact, Jack.
Next, let's examine John's claims against Carl. Carl also agreed to sit down for an interview, so let's hear both sides of their stories.
Now, Carl started by calling my kids losers on his podcast.
Carl told the joke maybe 5 times, but by my count, John has repeated Carl's insults at least 53 times, with a nearly 1,000% increase. If John's kids ever heard these insults, it seems it's more likely they heard it from John rather than Carl.
On our Patreon, at the first episode of Easy for You to Say, John's audiobook, we're reviewing it, and he dedicates the book to his 3 children. And I turn to producer Chris and I say, wow, those kids sound like losers. Can you believe he's dedicating this book to these losers? They really sound like losers. No context at all. Just completely baiting John. I don't know who they are. I don't know anything about them. John dedicated the book to them. And so I thought it'd be funny to be like, wow, those kids sound like losers. And of course, John used that to fly off the handle and repeat it a billion times.
Do you actually think that he is affected by you saying that?
John uses insults on his kids as currency. So he loves this. If someone says anything about a family member of his, then he can use that for sympathy or to react or to come back at you. The perfect example of this is when I know he's complaining about Anthony Cumia making fun of his trans son. Anthony put out a tweet with a picture of the son and said, this is the funniest thing John's ever made. And what John did is he sold an image of that tweet to Vice in order to add that into a documentary series.
Like, Vice and Hulu asked me for certain pictures if I had this and that, and they would pay me an extra $300 for everything I gave them. I did give them a tweet that Anthony posted, a transphobic tweet, trashing my transgender son.
Right.
And I believe they are using that.
Then Anthony starts posting pictures of my transgender child. This is the sick that he is. So Anthony is a horrible individual.
So that if John was really upset about his son being made fun of, you would think that he'd want to bury that sort of thing. Instead, he amplifies it and makes sure that more and more people see it than would have.
So you were making jokes about his kids. Do you think in your mind, him going after Jenny Jingles is about the same, or do you think that's any difference in that?
Oh, I think John can make fun of Jen anytime he wants. Jen is on the show. She's a character on the show. She's a public figure, if you will. I know John gets upset when we call ourselves public figures, but based on how things like slander and libel and defamation work, we are definitely public figures, and you can ridicule us all you want.
So it doesn't really hurt your feelings that he does that?
No, the thing that he shouldn't do is threaten revenge porn, because he did claim that he had nudes of my wife that he was going to leak.
Oh, I did get the naked pictures of Carl's wife you sent. Thank you. Those were good. I don't think you should release them, but I appreciate it.
Oh, I might.
I don't think you should.
No, I might, because I'm telling you.
I explained to you.
What?
All right. I explained to you that you shouldn't, but I mean.
Well, why? If he's going to fucking trash my kids, why shouldn't I release, the pictures of his wife naked? Why not?
Which I believe is illegal to even threaten.
This is not legal advice, but according to ChatGPT, in some jurisdictions, threatening to share intimate images, even if those images do not exist, can be illegal or give rise to civil liability. Also, claiming I was bluffing does not automatically protect the person making the threat.
He had an MP3 of my book on his Patreon, which he did remove, which again is nefarious. He then lies and said it wasn't there. Although I saw it, my book publisher saw it, Rare Bird Book Publishing, my Audible saw it, Vegas Beer Sales, Jerry saw it, and I clicked on it, and yes, it was not transformative. It was blatantly an MP3 of my book that he had on his paywall.
John claims Carl trashed his kids and shared a link to John's book on Patreon without transforming it. He also says he personally listened to the book through that link, along with his publisher and friends. This is just another example of John forgetting that everything he's ever said on a podcast is recorded forever, because this is most certainly not what he previously stated.
What I was trying to do was protect the rights of my book. When he had the MP3 on who are these podcasts, it was an MP3. Now, I don't go on there. Maybe it was a phony link, Carla. But either way, to me and to the person who checked it out for me, said it was real. Vegas Bear sells Jerry saw it, and I clicked on it, and yes, it was not transformative. It was blatantly an MP3 of my book that he had on his paywall. So if they say it's real, then I gotta believe it's real.
John appears inconsistent about whether he ever clicked on an MP3, and the dramatic shift in his story makes his deception embarrassingly obvious. As for Carl insulting John's kids, John might have had a case, if it weren't for the fact that he later forgave Carl after spotting an opportunity to make money by co-hosting a show with him. He even went so far as to offer to babysit Carl's non-existent cat. So, for John to act as if Carl's jokes were a grave offense to his kids seems disingenuous, especially since he's the one distributing pictures of his kid in a Vice documentary and repeating the insults on his show ad nauseum. In my view, this is yet another example of John being thin-skinned. What seems to have really happened is that Carl criticized John's podcast, and John simply couldn't handle it. True to form, he overreacted, targeting Carl's channel in retaliation. And yet, even as John escalated the conflict, attempting to harm Carl financially through lawsuits and engaging in underhanded tactics, like threatening Carl's wife with revenge pics, Carl largely stayed within the bounds of public information, reporting only on what was already in the public record or available online. The contrast between their actions paints a clear picture of who is reacting emotionally versus who is documenting and trying to have fun. And finally, we arrive at the moment of truth, dissecting John's claims against Shuli, who agreed to an interview to determine once and for all who drew first blood.
They're going to give you some bullshit story trying to say somehow I did it first. And it's just that. It's plain old bullshit. Because I don't do that, and I haven't. I don't even know Shitway's kids' names, nor do I want to know their names. I know your kids' names, okay? I have pictures. I don't know anything about them. You're supposed to be a father, right? You're supposed to have 2 young kids, and I saw one of the pictures. Takes after the mom.
This interview is already off to a bad start. For years, John claimed, without sarcasm and with an implied threat, that he had pictures of Shuli's kids. Now he says he doesn't, and expects to be taken at his word. Yet when the roles are reversed, and Cardiff makes an obvious joke about John's kids' graduation, John immediately treats it as a serious threat. The hypocrisy is hard to miss.
Again, Lord, so in other words, it's the fault of people for believing you. So then when are we supposed to believe you, and when aren't we supposed to believe you?
So when are we supposed to believe John when he claims he has pictures of Shuli's underage child, especially when he's gone as far as giving physical descriptions? Shuli did show a picture of John's kids, but again, this was another image that originated from Muttering Jay.
Muttering Jay is amazing.
As I tried to untangle who did what to whom, it became clear that much of the hostility over the past few years, particularly involving each other's families, has been reactive in nature. It's been a cycle of tit-for-tat behavior. While that doesn't excuse the fact that some actions went too far, it does put the situation into context. But the 2 questions we should be focusing on is, how did this start, and how will this end? First off, when did it get personal for you?
Man, had to be when I was still working at the Stern Show, and he was, doing his audio podcast. I think he may have been doing some video stuff too, but I think it was mostly audio. And it was after the big summit meeting.
The summit meeting, also known as the Pelican Brief, was a secret staff meeting where Howard Stern outlined a plan to lure A-list celebrities onto the show. When the leaked video went public, it made national news and embarrassed Howard by revealing plans for staffers to use fake social media accounts to pressure celebrities.
The types of things to say, what things not to engage with.
Do you remember when Howard Stern got busted doing that?
Did he? No, I don't.
Yeah, there was a conference,
he had a conference for all of his employees, and there's a video that got leaked and telling all the employees to make fake accounts and then tweet at celebrities that you want to be on Howard Stern.
An anonymous staffer leaked the footage to John, who posted it on YouTube, sparking an internal investigation that never identified the source.
And I remember him talking about, how I was one of his moles. I know he says now that he mentioned Mamet, he mentioned this one. I never heard any of those. I don't recall any of these people, JD, coming to me going, John said I'm his mole. I know specifically, I've seen him say it, and I was just like, I didn't understand why he would do that.
Bullshit alert. Revisionist history. Now he's going to claim I tried to get him fired. I never did. He's a fucking liar. I didn't call him the mole till after he started the Uncle Rico show.
Shuli, look, I'm going to look at Shuli, I'm looking at you right now. You don't want me to talk about the things we've talked about, do you? I don't think so.
Just so
you want me to tell the buoy about our conversation, Shuli? Do you want me to tell the buoy about those? Yeah, I could tell him right here, Shuli.
John was clearly jeopardizing Shuli's job long before the Uncle Rico show. He even carried out an ambush interview in a hotel lobby, which put Shuli in an extremely uncomfortable and risky position with his boss, Howard Stern, and with Marcy Turk, who had just taken over leadership. At the time, John was openly talking about trying to undermine Howard Stern, so placing Shuli in that situation was extremely reckless and unfair, especially given that, at the time, John still considered Shuli a friend.
So he asked if you were the one that was trying to frame Shuli for taking the video in that meeting, that secret meeting. Did you do that? And if so, how would you know if it was him or not? Okay.
I said that it was Shuli that sent the link out. Right?
Was he the one that took the video, according to you?
Okay. No. Well, I might have just said that to piss Shuli up, but actually, it wasn't Shuli that... Well, I don't know who gave it to me. The person who gave it to me anonymously and didn't say who it was. It could have been Shuli.
No, but did you say it was him for some reason?
Maybe, but no, I will still say that Shuli was one of my moles. He told me all about how his wife was afraid to go in the hallway when Howard's in there.
So he was your friend. He was your friend at one point, sounds like.
I thought he was.
Then what changed there?
He just decided that he saw dollar signs that he could make money off of me.
So nothing happened between you to cause the shift?
I interviewed him. He ran away from me. It wasn't, and I DM'd him after. It wasn't because it was him. The questions weren't about him. It was whoever we can find from the Stern show. He just happened to be the only idiot sitting by the elevator.
John claims the shift in their friendship was caused by the hotel interview he did with Shuli. However, that doesn't explain why he had already labeled Shuli a mole before the interview, or why he accused him of leaking the Pelican brief. In my interview with John, he defended this by saying it was okay to call Shuli a mole because he called other people moles too. More twisted logic from John. Rather than risking just one person's job, he put multiple people's careers at risk, and somehow thought that made it acceptable. In my estimation, there was no valid reason to accuse Shuli of leaking the big summit meeting as some form of retaliation against Howard. The claim simply doesn't hold up logically. John clearly drew first blood, and everything that followed has been reactive, with tensions escalating from there. We've identified how this all began, but the question remains, how does it end? Shuli has already attempted to call a truce, at least with respect to keeping families out of the discussion. John, however, chose a different path, one that placed his own children in the crossfire in pursuit of revenge.
The douchebear is being honest in what he's saying. He's saying, going forward, I won't make any jokes about your family.
Yeah, but I had to endure it for 3 years. So
well, let's see. I know, but that's in the past. Let's see if there are any other terms.
It doesn't mean anything.
All right, but this is their current offer, John.
Don't tell me it's past tense. It ain't. It's fucking still fucking bothers me that these assholes start attacking my children. I don't
Well, it
care.
bothers you that you attack his wife.
What?
It bothers him that you attack his
wife
wife.
put herself out there.
She does not put herself out there to be ridiculed in this manner, John. Just because she has a posting somewhere does not give you the right, in my mind, to attack. You have to limit it to attack her looks.
Okay, then she did her own show. She did her own video show. Therefore, she is putting her looks out there. Therefore, she is able to get criticized.
This statement is yet another contradiction.
Here was the question that she'd asked me, everybody. Jenny Jingles, since she's fair game because she's on Lady K's show, then isn't my mom fair game because she was on The Tonight Show? Jenny Jingles trashes me on a regular basis. Does my mom ever trash shitware? Does my mom ever talk Dabbleverse? Does my mom ever trash Lady K? When my mom was on The Tonight Show, was there a Dabbleverse? The answer is no. So, to ask such a ridiculous question, I almost shouldn't even fucking respond with an answer, because it's fucking ridiculous. My mom is an 88-year-old woman. Is she saying anything about Lady K? I'll wait. Is she saying anything about Silent Mike? I'll wait. Is she saying anything about shitware? I'll wait. She is not. Therefore, she is not fair game. Thank you.
What show was Shuli's wife on when she started trashing you? So she deserved to be trashed by you. Did she ever go on a show and trash you?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
From there, John launched into the familiar rules for thee but not for me rant, arguing that it was acceptable for him to attack Shuli's wife because he was retaliating, despite the fact that we had already established that John was clearly the one who struck first. To be blunt, there's no reasoning with him. Every criticism is deflected, every consequence reframed. He's 60 years old and long past any real personal growth. If he's unwilling to change for his own family, there's nothing I or anyone else can say to make a difference. He's surrounded himself with yes men who will never challenge his behavior, serving only to reinforce his delusions. At this point, all that's left is to watch and take in the chaos that is Stuttering John. It's been over 4 years of the Dabbleverse. Stuttering John will truly go down as one of the most legendary lolcows in the history of lolcows. There have been sad moments, unbelievably hilarious moments, friendships made, friendships broken. The main purpose of the Dabbleverse was simple: to watch funny people bust each other's balls. But somewhere along the way, it shifted from boogers and jokes to something much darker and personal, with lawsuits and families getting dragged in. Maybe it's too late. Maybe the Dabbleverse will eventually implode on itself. Or maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to make the Dabbleverse fun again.
Oh, we got a haircut.
It's not frozen, don't worry.
Oh my God, this is so good.
What was the guy's name? She says gerrymandering, and he says, who's that guy's name?
Yeah, and watch how he goes. Let me listen better by putting my ear to the mic.
They wanted to sign me on a quarterly basis on The Tonight Show. 5-year deal, but they could fire me every 6 months.
You know, one of those quarterly deals where every 6 months they can fire you.
For a good year before he actually did it. And how screwed up you knew it was going to be. It transcended all expectation of how screwed up the whole thing was and how bad it was.
Kind of goes on riffs and
says whatever comes to mind, and then, you know, it's like later on, oh, you all right?
Oh my god. Oh!
What is that, a constellation?
Wow.
Is this really true? Now, people, is that Rocco Burrow? He got arrested in Bergen County?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you joking? No.
He's falling for this.
I gotta watch that again.
To have all these idiots be goofing on me? Just because I'm the fucking only celebrity, being the only famous one in this Dabbleverse, because I'm fucking entertaining, I'm the only famous one in this whole fucking thing.
Stuttering John? Who the fuck is Stuttering John?
Who's Stuttering John?
Lay it down! I don't know who that is.
Stuttering John? What do you mean, Stuttering John? Is that a musician?
Who's Stuttering John?
What are my thoughts on Stuttering John? I don't know who that is.
What do you think of Stuttering John? Stuttering John. I can't say I know anything about Stuttering John.
Stuttering John? What is Stuttering John?
Who's Stuttering John?
Who's Stuttering John?
Stuttering John? I don't know who that is.
What do you think of Stuttering John? I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is.
What do you think of Stuttering John? Who's Stuttering John?
Stuttering John, is that a person or?
What do you think of Stuttering John? I don't know who Stuttering John is.
Please drink responsibly, and if you or people around you think you have a drinking problem, dial 988 now to speak to a counselor or call the SAMHSA hotline at 1-800-662-4357 or check out the information on your screen.